Hi, I'm Professor Mark Habeeb, and I will be offering a course in the spring called Identity and Conflict. The objectives of this course are to explore issues related to identity, group identity, and how group identity often leads to conflict in the international system. So what we will be doing is looking at some theories of group identity, why people tend to identify with various groups or various identifications, and then how these group identities often find themselves in conflict. And I think the major takeaway of this will be an increased awareness of these dynamics, how they work, how to recognize them, and how to address them. Well, I think this topic is important because it's such an important part of human interaction, our identities, who we think we are, what groups we think we're part of. And in terms of who should take it, really anyone who's interested in being involved in the international community in any way, because while this course is offered under the Global Politics and Security program, issues of identity are just as relevant in economic development, in various regional studies. So it's really a universal phenomenon and something that needs to be part of a comprehensive international relations training. My academic background is in international negotiation theory. And as I have studied negotiations over the years and individual conflicts and how people attempted to resolve those, it struck me that of the intractable negotiations, or the intractable conflicts, meaning the conflicts that just seem most resilient to being resolved, were often conflicts in which issues of identity played a very significant role. And people have a very difficult time negotiating identity as opposed to negotiating a tangible thing like a trade deal or even territory. So that got me very interested in exploring deeper into identity issues. I've been very personally involved as a consultant on Israeli-Palestinian conflict, where identity plays a huge role. In the post-Soviet Union, the breakup of the Soviet Union, where again identity played an important role as new nations were formed based on old identities. And I also have brought in some multidisciplinary approaches to this. I've been involved for 5 years in a working group at the Washington Psychoanalytic Institute, which looks at psychological issues in terms of group identity and group conflict. An important part of this course is owned by the students, and I'll explain what I mean by that. We will be looking at some theoretical topics, some concepts about group identity and conflict that's based on identity. But each student in the class will pick a particular case, a particular international conflict where identity plays an important role. And we'll investigate this case, we'll report to the class on it, and then after a class discussion on that particular case, we'll prepare a final paper, 12 or 15 pages long for me, which further expands and deepens their understanding of this case. And the reason I structure the course this way is that what we are looking for is commonalities. We want to look at a number of different cases in which identity played a major role in conflict and see if we can extract from those cases certain principles, certain themes, certain commonalities that run between these cases. So by having each student do their own case, it means that they get to do what they're most interested in, the part of the world they're most interested in, or some aspect of identity that they're most interested in. And then by sharing it and discussing it in the class, everybody learns from all of the cases. So in addition to the case that you're investigating, you have the chance to engage with and be involved in the cases that other students are investigating. Large part of the grade will be class participation, the case presentations. This is a seminar, it's a discussion, it's a joint exploration into this topic. So I expect students to be very engaged in the topic and very participatory. I will have a syllabus for this course posted before the end of this academic semester. There's an old syllabus that's available. It's from 2013, but there will be some changes to it. I always change my courses to add new material and new research and new investigation. If you have any questions, though, then you'd like to contact me about the course, please use my Georgetown address, wmh7@georgetown.edu. Feel free to get in touch with me, and I'd be happy to talk to you more about this course.